uniquely sophisticated, connected to the world around them, often overlooked, the indigenous peoples of our planet, though they are often disparaged as primitive, exotic.
It's like 370 million of indigenous peoples around the world.
And the term tribe itself is something backward, uncivilized. I think it should be turned from a negative word to a positive one.
There have been indigenous tribes on the island of Taiwan for many thousands of years, and they've shaped the whole region.
In terms of language, Taiwan's Aboriginal people speak a diversity of Austronesian languages. They migrated from Taiwan through the Philippines toward the South Pacific.
Today, they work hard to maintain their identity in this modern world.
So what's so unique about indigenous culture is because it's just there and different from what is dominating.
But it is their very difference that makes their culture so valuable. And there's much to learn from them.
When you appreciate that difference, then it's beautiful. It's unique. It's just there.
In this first episode, we uncover tribal Taiwanese ceremonies, rituals that keep the tribes connected to the natural world. Dulan, on the eastern coast of Taiwan, home to the Amis people, and an ancient ritual of tribal education. These are the Ba卡路耐. For 5 long years from the age of 12, they have been trained in traditional skills by their elders. For some of them, the upcoming annual ritual, known as Kilumaan, will be the most important day of their lives, the day they become men. This was a tradition that nearly died out as Amis kids gravitated away from their traditions and towards modern life.
Taiwan, the indigenous peoples are very advanced in comparison with indigenous societies in Latin America and the Pacific Islands.
One man recognized the danger that this posed to the Amis culture.
可能是因为工商业的这个发达，然后所有的部落的人一定要离开部落，要到某指的一个地方，变成部落的这个年龄层几乎都要断层了，那个巴卡隆爱几乎都看不到。
Lean is a retired teacher with an intimate knowledge of Amis traditions. He got together with the other tribal elders, and they have managed to restart the training of the Baká路耐. The Amis divide their society into age bands, each with its own duties. It's like a big family. The Baká路耐are the youngest, so if they are lost, then the whole tribal system would be lost too.
巴卡隆爱是学习者。 他一生出来之后，到了国小的这个阶段，他必须一定要参加这个年龄阶层，才会知道这个部落在传承什么东西。
Yuan Kai is one of the young Amis who could have lost his culture completely. He's at home in the bustling capital, Taipei, like thousands of other students. But thanks to the Baká路耐training, he's remained fully aware of his own identity.
不管我在哪里，我就会记得，就是我一样是阿美族人这样。
Every year, he makes sure he goes home for the Baká路耐training and the annual ritual. This year is especially important. If he successfully performs a range of tasks, he will be able to graduate from the Baká路耐 and become a man.
因为我们这边5年都要晋升嘛，就像国小要毕业了，要进入到另外一个学校，那国中毕业了要晋升到那个学校。
He will be joining the others at the mountain training camp and will be taking responsibility for many of the younger boys as well.
Katawalan ko lisin numita masamisay. Kuni. Pacadan nuwa mak sutu bonus. Oh. Ai, ta, ya za. Ngai to ko ringan tamo. 好。
他给我那把刀就是我阿公传给他的刀，他就说你要去训练，给你这把刀的时候，你已经是一个男人了。
Different age group need to achieve certain goals and overcome challenge to show that they are qualified to go to a new stage in the society.
No ane satapang ko niaro ano atoran maraw to ko kilumaan ay ko kalingar numira no ay ko pinukay numira tiny niaro kalimusto.
After the traditional blessing, the Bakalunai set off for the mountain. They have to get there on foot in high summer temperatures of up to 40 degrees Celsius.
In traditions, there are mechanisms, there are ways to see youth as adults. For example, for boys, they are usually put in training camp in the mountains. And if they come back alive, that means they have the skill to fit themselves, to protect themselves in the mountains. And in that sense, they can protect the entire village.
各位，好，今天开始哈，所有的事情哈都要听严凯这边发令，有没有听到？
The camp has been planned by members of the age class who are around 40 and members of the youth class in their 20s and 30s who have to lead the training.
我们都要服从上面哥哥的命令，就是不能跨级。上面哥哥讲什么，我们就要服从，然后我们就负责做事这样。
Everything the group will be doing here is a preparation for the annual ritual. To start with, collecting bamboo.
其实竹子就是用来丰年祭的时候倒酒的时候会用的竹杯，还有水壶，然后就是丰年祭前准备日，我们会报讯息，会用到赶鸟器。
Some of the youngsters live with their families in the city. They have been sent back to learn about their origins. But without any experience of working outdoors, there's an accident. One of the supervisors comes quickly. He administers first aid, but no sympathy.
拿刀子的小心啊！再弄到手活该啊！
With that, it's back to work. A small wound is no excuse for dropping out. As one of the oldest Bakalunai, Yuan Kai has to set an example to the others and pass on the skills he's already learned himself.
安静了，不要讲话了，睡觉了。大家晚安。晚安。
A full night's sleep is not in the cards.
起来！起来！来，起来！我们讲了，要多久？快点啊！刚让你们好好休息，结果嘞，几点了还在玩手机，不会累？没关系啊，明天提早。 表定6点起来，来，我们提早5点起来。
这个服从是在一个团体当中必须一定要求他了。如果你不要求的话，他就随便嘛。
这些所谓的巴嘎鲁奈，哈，就是说他们是年龄组织里面最低阶的，所以他们其实是非常苦的，压力也很大。可是他们有一群人一起度过这个苦，他们提供的一个叛逆期归属的一个人群的组织。 就是一群人会有归属感。
This morning, the boys take a short run to the beach. The group pay their respects to the ocean and enjoy some team-building activities. It's a reminder that the sea is part of what makes them Amis.
我领唱哦，你们要搭唱，然后听一下他们怎么搭唱。
As the oldest one, Yuan Kai has the job of training the Bagalunai. In the singing and dancing they will have to perform at the annual ritual.
因为到会所里面的时候就要跳那个马里库拉，就是牵手的舞。很多巴嘎隆爱就是可能第一次来参加的就不懂一些传统的歌谣，所以我们早上起来第一件事就直接跳舞。
像阿美族这种部落集体公开性的仪式，它是透过身体，而且是每个人都是跟这个灵沟通的很重要的媒介。所以从巴嘎隆爱开始训练，他们就一直要学习跳这个舞，就是不能随便乱跳。 它甚至是被视为一种在古早的时候是一种军事训练的一种模式。
It's a matter of honor for the Bagalunai group to get the song and dance right. They'll be performing for the whole tribe and will be judged on their pride and determination in getting it right. And so far, they're falling short.
这个洞主可以把行程全部都改掉。巴嘎隆爱今年就是不能下山。在这里陪着你。
They have been rehearsing all day, but the threat of another day forces them to focus for one last session. After 3 hours, the older boys are satisfied. The group can go back to the village and make their final preparations for the annual ritual.
有这样的一个训练的话，小孩子就会了解这个丰年祭它的用意在什么地方了。部落的这个发展完全都是靠年轻人，如果没有年轻人，等于是一个死气沉沉的一个部落。
It's the day before the Dulon's annual ritual. It's the job of the Bagalunai to spread the word round the village that the ceremonies are about to begin. In particular, Lean is proud to see the Bagalunai. After all, it's thanks to his efforts that these rituals have been revived.
自从那个时候这样子训练之后，他们表现得非常好，这个是值得高兴的一个地方了。过去我们的辛劳没有白费了。
In the traditional way, you can value how much skills you have, how much courage you have, so you can actually decide if you're adult or not, not by the age.
The annual ritual begins with a youth class doing a protection dance. This is the class that Yuan Kai will be joining. The dance is intended to protect the village. Every age band has a role in the annual ritual. Even the elders have a ritual to perform. As with many indigenous peoples, ancestor worship is very important. The belief is that ancestral blessings ensure the survival of the tribe.
5年的当中，我们都几乎在进行这样的一个仪式，所以那个唱的歌不是丰年祭不唱这一首歌的呢。
All the ceremonial songs and dances are meant to keep the ancestors connected to the villagers and their daily lives. Yuan Kai and some of the Bagalunai officially become men. Tribeswomen, usually their mothers or sisters, help them on with skirts that symbolize their new status.
终于等到这一刻，就是可以穿上裙子，被部落认同，就是你是真正的男人了，很感动啊。
This kind of ceremony is a symbol of transformation. It's not just a label of your status in the society to tell everybody that you are qualified to take care of people. It also believes that we are not really individual, we are connected to each other.
It's not just the youngsters who graduate. The elders also have to move on as well, and that includes Lean himself.
那我们这一次因为年龄层晋升，我们毕业离开那个位置，等于是变成躲在阴凉下的老人。我们这样子讲，可以说是一个享受，实际上它是很悲哀的。我老了，只等着要归天。
But for the Amis, this is not the end. There is to be one more graduation.
But for indigenous cosmology, if you die, you transfer to a spirit. You move to another stage or the other side of the world, which means ancestral spirit is everywhere.
The Amis way is a recognition of the natural course of life. From youth and strength to weakness and ultimately death.
Like in a hierarchical society, you respect your chief, you respect the authority. You respect what is before you. And you know who you are. You have that sense of harmony.
Their annual ritual reinforces their understanding of the universe and binds together their people through their beliefs and customs. Most of the indigenous peoples of Taiwan celebrate an annual ritual. For the Dalumak, it is held when their staple food millet is brought in. It's a time to celebrate fertility and for one of Taiwan's most unusual rituals. For some of the young bachelors of the tribe, it's the culmination of a series of trials they face for love.
It's a process to transfer from a person who need to be taken care of to a person who take care of people in the society.
And actually, I think that's a more interesting way to become adult.
This year, one young Dalumak man has decided to demonstrate his love by following the tribe's traditions. Bao is 29 and ready to get married. He's found a girl as well, Labauso.
我第一次认识她的时候，知道这个女生，可是不熟，然后开始慢慢喜欢上她。然后她那时候的感觉是，根本不想理我这个人。
我就说爸爸要我跟你交往的事情要多考虑一下。
在台湾的这个离婚率大概到了1/2啊。现代人的爱情生活减少了许多关系结合的繁文缛节，让这个爱情关系相对的来讲比较不稳定。
Lavauso's father is determined that all the formal steps are followed so that his daughter's relationship is strong. As an elder of the tribe, he takes his traditions very seriously.
很可惜，现在的年轻人的想法只是在玩手机而已啊。你跟他讲传统礼仪，我们的那个文化迁移史或是祭典，他们不懂啊，也是一知半解而已啊。我也是希望一些年轻人要学习自己的达鲁曼的文化了。
The conflicts I see between the youth and their family, other family members, because they communicate through technology. That also takes their time away from being with their elders.
So Bao has to win his prospective father-in-law's approval for the match, which means following Dalumak's rituals to the letter. The first task, collect firewood for the girl's family. Bao's never done anything like this before, and he wants to get it right. So he asked a senior village member, Li Yuan, to help. Before they start, a simple ritual to inform the spirits what they're going to be doing.
Most of the indigenous peoples in Taiwan believe animal and plant and even rock have their spirit. It reflects a more equal relations between indigenous people and other animal or their habitat.
这个就是9球，这个，然后我们拿的时候呢，就是到腰部。
Gathering firewood may seem very simple, but every step is regulated by tradition. Choosing the right trees, cutting and trimming the branches the right way, and tying them up properly.
In different society, it requires different skill for living to sustain your life.
因为传统的东西，他就会看一下你拿的柴好不好，他们就会知道我这个人是不是有真心在为我喜欢的这个女生去认真做事情。
He now has to deliver the firewood to Lavauso's house on his own back. They've loaded as much as they can carry from the woods, around 100 kilograms. In the olden days, it would show the suitor's physical strength, which he would need to look after his new family. Today, doing well will show respect for her and for tradition if her father approves.
啊，这个一定要装到顶，看不到这个。那表示说你很有诚意啊。
It seems that Bao has failed his very first task.
沮丧是有，可是后面就觉得这也算是一个考验啊，这个也是个动力啊。
He is going to have to do much more to win Lavauso's father's approval. It's the opening day for the annual ritual. Bao has to join in with the other young men in the opening ceremony. They wear traditional costumes and march through the village, making all the noise they can, all in celebration of millet.
Millet is their whole life for all the Darumaks people. All their process that's to remind all the Darumak people appreciate all you had from the nature. This is a very intangible heritage.
The most significant change is the life itself is already different, so it cannot follow the old ritual in the same way, but still people want to remember it.
Bao is on his best behavior to prove himself worthy of Lavauso's hand. Tonight, there's a dinner party at Lavauso's house. It's another chance for him to impress her father.
赌高博这个母语的意思就是晚餐，男方跟女方的家族的亲朋好友就会透过这个晚餐餐宴，然后聚在一起。
The dinner will require firewood, and it's Bao's job to bring it. This time, he's determined to get it right.
最后的决定权是要在佳慧的爸爸身上，他接受了就是认可，如果不接受，我还要再冲嘛。
Bao's friends from the village youth society come to help out. Between them, they manage to bring the wood right to the door, and Bao takes over at the last minute. This part he has to do alone. But he's brought a full load and shown his resourcefulness.
这个非常重的东西真的也很有心啊。小豹，辛苦你了，真的辛苦了。
抱久一点。
如果他们家族不接受我的话，昨天的人就不会来这么多，跟我家里的人也不会来这么多人。
他们是在双方家族的见证之下，对于婚姻的稳定性是有增加的。
The match has been approved, and now it must be presented to the whole tribe. In the final event of the whole festival, Bao and the other young men have to go out and collect materials from the forest. They need several long bamboo stems, weighing around 150 kilograms. Even the search for bamboo has a traditional significance.
That is the time that they can inherit from their elder. You have a chance to go search for all the bamboo. That also teaches a man, okay, this is your territory. Okay, you have to be strong to protect your own family.
To keep the bamboo stems strong and supple, they are placed in the river beside the ceremonial ground. Then the boys start construction in the center of the field. Raising 150 kilos of bindi bamboo isn't easy. They're maintaining a long-standing Dalamak tradition. Everything will be ready for the final day of ceremonies. It is an important day for all the Dalamak people. The chief and his wife are carried to the festival ground on palanquins. The chief performs a brief ritual to bless the final events. This is the ceremony where the boys declare their love in front of the whole village. One by one, the marriageable girls come out and swing. First up, it's girls from the chief's own family. Then down through the tribal hierarchy. As she finishes swinging, the boy who likes her will come and carry her off. It's a public demonstration of his intentions. Now it's Lavauso's turn.
我们这个文化的过程，他们都一步一步都在做嘛，一直做到荡秋千啊。我很喜欢说，他一直跟着我们的习俗在走这样。
现在抱感觉是好像在告诉人家说，这女生老包手要跟我一起组成一个新的家庭。
就是都是同部落的人结合，然后可以一起传承文化。老人家他们觉得很开心，很希望这件就是事情能赶快促成。
Bao has passed the final test and has stuck to his tribe's traditions as well. The match receives the elder's blessing.
From the harvest festival that we try to passing down for our children, we still have our tradition knowledges very strongly here.
This kind of ceremony, it also reminds these young people from today on, you are taking the responsibility to take care of your husband, your wife, your children, your settlements, your society.
Like my grandmother always told my father, you have to tell her she has to marry someone in the tribe. She has to pick a boy from the village.
Yating is from the Paiwan tribe, and she lives in the city. She's found a boyfriend here, Biray, and now they're engaged. But Biray is not from one of the indigenous peoples of Taiwan. He's from Taiwan's Han Chinese majority.
I think they're more into the exoticness as an Aboriginal girl. Those boys, they just, oh, they're so interested, they want to come.
For the younger generation, in Taiwan nowadays, there are less discrimination over indigenous people. And sometimes indigenous culture appreciated by the mainstream society.
Ya Ting's mother is Ka Shou Hua, and she's a Paiwan chieftain. According to her, a suitable husband should not only be Paiwan, they should come from the same noble class too.
在我们排湾族这边，更何况是我是头目家族嘛，希望我的子女都能够跟我们部落的成为夫妻。
It is important for them to stay within their own in terms of power, so they can maintain their power. Also in terms of the sense of purity inside a family.
所以我觉得跟我们交往汉人会比较辛苦。我是来自于屏东县春日乡七家部落，然后我妈妈她很希望我将来我的另一半真的希望是原住民，最好也是排湾族。
Ya Ting knows her own mind though.
我会觉得说，先遇到一个自己喜欢的人比较重要。当他不一定是原住民的时候，你就会很冲突。
Marrying within the tribe isn't tribal law, but it is expected. But the Paiwan girl Ya Ting is firm in her decision and has brought her Han Chinese fiancé to her home village several times, which hasn't always been easy for him.
像我的姨丈他们来我们家，我外公呢就是属于那种比较严肃的角色，可能会问我们旁边说他是谁，是做什么的，经济能力怎么样？那个男生可能就是要负责打通关，我觉得蛮辛苦的。
刚开始去的时候会觉得好像到国外，附近的邻居看到我跟雅婷走在一起，都会用不一样的眼光看着我。哎，有平地人来了。
I would not say the expectation is enforced. You would just see on the faces of the elders. Oh, okay. Usually the woman marries a non-Aboriginal boy or man. She will kind of disconnect herself with the village. It happens. That's why people worried about this union.
But B-Ray has made a sincere effort.
苦瓜跟那个大红瓜都可以洗。
And over time, the reluctant chief has finally agreed to the marriage. But on one condition.
后来爸妈答应我们结婚的时候，就有提了一个条件，希望说能够照着他们原住民传统的礼俗来走，不能随便交代过去。
Getting married according to Paiwan tradition will be a sign of respect to the bride's family, befitting their status. And it's also an indication that Ya Ting won't be lost to the tribe after she is married. The hierarchy of the Paiwan is strict, so the parents' blessing is not enough on its own for the wedding to go ahead. Even though Ka is the chief, she needs to get permission from the Grand Chief, the oldest member of the chieftain's family.
I think it has something to do with migration. Every time they move, the first or the biggest family that settled on the new land, they became the chief of that land. And where they come from, there was already a chief. So they must resort to that line when they are going to decide important things.
Fortunately, the Grand Chief agrees to go along with Ka's plans.
在我的想法，竟然小孩子要结婚，我们是头目的小孩应该要负担我们的长辈的那个吩咐，一定要做到正式的那个婚姻的那个仪式。
Getting the family's agreement is only the first step. They can only show respect by following tradition exactly, and a big part of that is the bride price. On the wedding day, the groom's family must bring out the treasures that they intend to hand over to the bride's family in exchange for her. If it's not enough, the wedding's off. Since B-Ray's family have no connection to this tradition, Ya Ting's family decide to take over. If her daughter's going to marry this outsider, Chief Ka doesn't want anything to go wrong. One of the most important parts of the bride price is 4 wedding costumes, for the bride and groom and for the bride's parents. Fortunately, Ya Ting's great aunt is a renowned seamstress who can take on this task. And it's not going to be easy. The costumes are intricate, highly decorative, and certain designs are required. These have to be costumes fit for the chief's family.
像我们的一些艺术啊，像雕刻啊，像我自己的排湾族的传统服饰，一些琉璃珠，我都觉得是一个很珍贵的东西，都必须要一直去保留它。
我就跟他说：“你放心啦，我去找看看那个颜色啦，或许是什么，我们都可以想办法。”我就跟他讲啊。
There are plenty of other items to be found, though, including millet wine and farming tools. Just like any bride's mother, Chief Ka is worried that it won't all be ready on time.
我不知道怎么办，我跟爸爸讲，我就是睡不着，我就那个。
After several weeks, the wedding costumes are ready. Chief Ka has to make sure all the details are right.
这个全部都是女孩子的一道了，哦，这个是绑脚的。
For the Baiwan society, you see different patterns, and certain patterns and certain styles are only for certain classes. For example, like a human head, the sun, and the 100-page snack. They are only exclusively for the use of the noble caste.
看到亲戚们结婚，我都觉得很繁杂。但是现在呢，如果我们不这样子做，以后我们的文化、我们的习俗可能会慢慢的消失。
感谢舅妈好吧。 这4套衣服，做得很好，真的是很满意，很 OK。我再也找不到第2件了。
With the wedding drawing close, everyone in the family is now roped in to help. Amidst all the pressure, there's time for a break for a single evening. There's a pre-wedding dance and a chance for Yating's extended family to get to know her fiancé as well. And they're happy to help him feel at home. Tomorrow, the wedding, and all the important bride price to be paid. If the Grand Chief isn't satisfied, it will bring shame on both families, and the wedding will be called off. It's an early start, 6 a.m. Both families await the arrival of the Grand Chief, coming to count the bride price. She arrives quietly, in full ceremonial costume.
这个聘礼方面，虽然是他跟那个平地结婚，不管怎么样，以那个头目的那个遗嘱去走。
今天这场婚礼出了一个这么严格的考官，他当下也讲了，说万一有一项聘礼不标准，那就取消，下次再办。
直接抬过来好了，先抬过来。Baiwan people in the old time did not have money. Whenever there's a big wedding, the only way to show your wealth is to present as many objects as you have. How many pigs you have, how many walks you have, how many beads, especially the glass beads.
The chief's cousin gets everything brought out quickly.
来，这个帮忙，酒坛、香蕉、槟榔、勇士豆。
Once everything has been brought out, the Grand Chief can begin her count. She spotted a problem, a big one.
"小气鬼啊！真的，那个糖才多少钱嘛？你那么吝啬干什么？那个我真的要发脾气了呢，因为我们要最快乐的时候，心情就马上变化。
Not enough simple sugar candy. It may not seem like much, but it's a sign of disrespect to miss something so easily bought. For a moment, no one knows what to do.
碧瑞，再去买2大包，要不然你没有办法娶新娘呢。
Rather than abandon his own wedding to run to the convenience store, B-Ray sends a youngster from his own family to save his wedding.
If you just give them money and like a piles of paper there, it's not enough. Papers look all the same. So I think that's how people still live with the old ideas, even though they're already in the 21st century.
For Han Chinese, they will think that indigenous people are savage, barbarian, who do head hunting. For indigenous people, we see Han Chinese are the persons who cheating in trade. So you see that there are a lot of stereotype.
Within a few minutes, the extra sweets have been bought, and the Grand Chief is satisfied. A lesson has been learnt. Traditions are not to be messed with. Now the wedding can go ahead. The Grand Chief leads the wedding procession in style, bringing B-Ray to the bride's home. Then it's the turn of the blushing bride. She's carried 5 times around the house entrance on her uncle's back. It symbolizes the blessings of her family on the union. There's one final ritual for both, performed by the Grand Chief herself. And just like that, the happy couple are now married.
在仪式尾声进到小房间的时候，当下没有想到说，原来原住民的传统仪式也有一个这么开放的动作。
For B-Ray, it's been an interesting time, but for Yating and her mother, it's been far more significant.
从真的懂事，然后独立以来，然后就一直都是在外面，陪爸爸妈妈他们的时间也没有那么多，然后现在要从这个家就是踏到另外一个家庭，那距离是真的很遥远。
你们平地人不是，说嫁出去的女儿泼出去的水，我不要，我就是不要那样。我希望亲家母啊，还有碧瑞他们，不要把雅婷太限制来看我们，爸爸妈妈，还有我们部落的，主人呐。
In a world that is modernizing, marrying out can mean that their culture is threatened with extinction. By marrying traditionally, Yating has attempted to allay her mother's fears by showing that she remains bonded to her roots. Call it indigenous pride.
You know who you are, and you do not look down on who you are because it's different from other people.
It's not saying that indigenous people are naturally or born to be a stewardship of the environment. We had more chance to direct interaction with the nature, more chance to learn by doing.
It's a recognition that indigenous traditions have something to offer, not just for the indigenous people themselves, but for the whole of society around them.
City folks or people who are not Aboriginal, if they really want to learn from Aboriginal, maybe not the way they live, but the way they look at life. With that strong sense of identity, you move forward.